We're back to the bug eating, and this is in GB News. Marc Steyn talking about the fact that there's money going into, British money going into the eating of beetles and other insects. Let's listen to this segment. This is Marc Steyn.
We've been reporting for weeks on the strange priorities of the globalist class to make us give up meat and dairy products and switch to eating locusts and crickets instead. Usually we attribute this to Klaus Schwab, the sinister Teutonic megalomaniac hiding in plain sight as a sinister Teutonic megalomaniac. And so we usually do it in a Germanic accent. You will eat the bugs. But maybe we should switch to doing it in an upper-class English accent. I say, old boy, you should eat the bugs. Because it turns out it's the British government that is running the pilot program for the new human diet. And you'll love this. They're trying it out on the Africans first. It was the late Zimbabwean strongman, Robert Mugabe, who famously called Tony Blair, quote, the gay gangster leading the gay government of the gay United Gay Kingdom, and accused him of a plot to spread homosexuality throughout the Commonwealth. There's not a lot of evidence of a UK campaign to spread homosexuality throughout the Commonwealth, although it might explain why tax rates have to stay at 45%, the cost of all that gay outreach in the South Sandwich Islands and Lesotho. But instead, it turns out we're spreading insects throughout the Commonwealth, starting with caterpillar soup for Zimbabwean school children. In a healthier media climate, the news that the great white bwana is feeding caterpillars to African moppets would be the sort of thing they'd be tearing down statues over. But all you hear are crickets. Cricket.
We're doing it in Canada. Don't we have, like, is there a massive factory in Ontario? A cricket factory?
Yep. I mean, this is the worst. I mean, I used to be not against like the bug eating. So I remember in high school, before all this globalist stuff, I said the theory of like, you know, oh, like doomsday and food supply decreasing. And I said like, well, in a necessity, like humans can switch to bugs, right? If there's not a farming thing, and like we'd figure it out. But my thought was like, we'd engineer bugs that would taste like seafood, because, you know, shrimp and lobster are not that far away from, you know, insects. It's like lizards taste like chicken because lizards and birds are rather similar. So this was always my thing, is like, yeah, it's possible. But this modern insect thing we're doing is like not trying to come up with insects that would appeal to us and then people could come in and like, you know, it's not like free market. Someone saying, oh, you know what, if I can engineer an insect that tastes like shrimp, but I could produce it at 2% of the cost and sell it at 50% of the cost, I could have a major business on my hand and go through. Like, that's the way I thought it would break in. But this is like a top-down, you know, cultural imperialism where it's like, you must eat the bugs for climate change. And it's not a way to you know, supplement the food supply or anything. This is a form of sort of cultural conditioning from the elites to say like, no, you will do this and you will comply, or else you hate you're a global warmer, right? This is sort of the thing. And the great irony that Marc Steyn pointed out is, for the the leftists who screech about imperialism and would have anti-imperialists in their bio, one of the things they spend most of their time doing is being cultural imperialists. We are exporting cultural leftist nonsense to all the different spots of the world, whether it's eat the bugs, whether it is whitewashing and pretending that Native history is actually all about transgenderism, or Black history is, again, all about transgenderism. This is sort of what we're doing. It's a means of cultural imperialism, and it's not really done in a way that helps anyone. This is more of just you will comply and eat the bug so you can say you're a good person. It's nothing to do with like, oh, here's an actual low-cost thing that, you know, might, you know, help alleviate poverty and, you know, bring down the cost of living by some clever entrepreneurs. This is like top-down, like, no, they're just a bunch of maggots. We're gonna fry them up and you're gonna eat them, or else you're a bad person.
Here is the story. Even the CBC carried it. I mean, didn't they do a story about how it was all a hoax? How it was all a conspiracy theory, or was that global? I mean, they're all the same anyway, but massive cricket processing facility comes online in London, Ontario. Company hopes to produce 13 million kilograms of cricket protein annually, selling mostly to pet food market. Okay. All right, well, I could see maybe feeding it to your pet, but it's a pretty short jump to make to feeding it to people, isn't it? I mean, if you think about it, look, Fluffy can eat it. Fluffy likes it. I mean, and if Fluffy can be nourished by it, then so can you. You can see them heading in that direction. And it's already there. They have cricket flour and stuff. I'm personally not interested. But I suspect they're going to sneak it in. You know, there's going to be in foods. And unless you look really carefully in the ingredients, you won't see cricket in there. Right? I mean, isn't that next?
Yeah, I do think. I think it's starting to. I mean, it's going to fit the pattern of it's not happening, and you're a crazy person for it happening. Okay, it's fine. It's happening a little bit, but not that much. And then it is happening. It's a good thing it's happening, and you're a bigot if you don't like the fact that it's happening. I think that's about that. We'll hit that part of the cycle within a year. I think within a year we'll be in. It is happening. And it's a good thing, and you're a bad person if you criticize it. Right now, we're in the it's not happening, and you're a conspiracy theorist for saying it's happening, and we're transitioning now into okay, it's happening, but not that much, and it's only selective. So then we'll reach. I think that stage within a year where it will be. It is happening, and anyone who opposes it is a bad person.